guys, welcome to the Way Show. My name is Lauren Carr, your host of the Way Show, and today it's currently 4 a.m. in the morning down here in Maryland. You've heard that correct. 4 a.m. in the morning. I have the film to prove it. See what I'm saying? You're probably like, Lauren, why are you up so early? Well, we have a special guest all the way across the country in Australia that's going to be giving us his presence today. And yeah, we're going to let him come in the room so we can meet him. I wanted to let you know that I didn't get coffee because but
Water?
I have tea. Tea is good. And I have Mountain Dew. That's not as healthy, but you know.
Mix.
It's not as healthy, but
It works.
Okay, so I didn't give the whole rundown of who you are because I was like, you got to do it yourself. So let's hear it.
Oh. Okay, well, my name is Charlie Evans and I am 16.
Whoa!
Yeah, I'm 16 years old from Australia and I'm a Christian entrepreneur. So I run a social media business and I've previously run a clothing company and that is me.
Hey, wow. Okay, I'm 16 too. You're the second 16-year-old we had. 16 club. Woohoo. Okay, so I want to know exactly like what you do. Like get me into the nitty-gritty. Like
All right, sure. So I guess as well as that, I'm also a high school student, but that's kind of self-explanatory. But I guess what I actually do for social media type stuff, I work with app development companies. So if you as a business want to get an app made, you would talk to a company that's going to make it. I help those companies find clients through social media.
the biggest question everyone wants to know. Well, not everybody,
Right.
just me right now, but everyone else is going to want to know later on. How are
Okay.
you doing in quarantine, or how's life in quarantine right now?
Well, where I am in South Australia, it's basically doesn't exist. So I'm living my best life.
No way!
There was a time, so when it first started, obviously schools were shut and things, but now it's almost back to normal where I am. In other places in Australia, it's still bad. So I can't like go to like other states, but where I am, completely fine. How is it for you guys?
Stuck at home. I can't do anything. Have to wear
No.
masks everywhere I go.
Yeah.
It's been crazy. It's been crazy down here. So quarantine's going pretty good because you guys aren't in quarantine.
Yeah,
But
basically.
what's something that you learned about yourself, like in 2020, since you're not in quarantine? I can't ask that, but
Well, I think being in quarantine, I've started to like question everything in a good way.
honestly,
I've been like, I think because at the start we were definitely home a lot, so I had a lot of time by myself just with God. And that was just the absolute best. And I've been really diving into my faith a lot more. And like this Sunday, I'm like having a meeting about like getting baptized, which I'm hyped about. And like I've been basically a Christian since birth and I've been following it, but definitely the past like 2 years, I've just like jumped in, gone all in. But that's probably what I've learned.
what clicked for you from like, so you've been all Christian your whole life, but like what clicked for you to like, let me buckle down on this?
Mm-mm. I guess I also at the time 2 years ago I'm just like jumping into this, but
You're fine.
I had like full blown anxiety, depression, OCD. Like I was just
Yeah.
not living my best life, and I think the times when I did feel good was when I was relying on God and when I like
Mhm.
because that's a lot to deal with when you're like what was I like 14 or something. So
Yeah, it's not
yeah,
fun.
I think I just jumped in, started praying, and just tried to just sit in God's presence, which is quite difficult to do for someone who has OCD,
Mm-hmm.
because it's
Really?
just like trying to be still, which is often difficult for that. But since then, I've kind of stopped labeling it as those things, and I just like don't identify with anxiety or anything anymore. I just try and like not think of it as that. And so whenever I have those moments, I jump in on God. But definitely trying to read the entire Bible has got me into it because,
Really?
yeah, because where am I? I got halfway yesterday.
He has a handy dandy Bible right next to him.
I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have your favorite book yet, or Or are you not at that point where you picked something yet?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I this is how I used to read the Bible. I'd sit down and I'd be like, like just go anywhere. But yeah, but now probably Esther's probably my favorite because
Esther's amazing.
it's so good. But it just really shows because God's actually never mentioned in Esther, which is really interesting. But you can just see him moving behind the scenes, and I think that's definitely how it feels in my own life. So I very much identify with that.
So how are you staying close to God right now? What's your methods?
Well, yes. Well, we definitely also stopped church at one point with quarantine, but now we're back into it. So that's been really good. But the main thing for me is because I've been jumping in on business stuff, I've had to be extremely productive with my time because where I'm in my school, we have like the most subjects in this current year. So I just had to smash them out. But that means I've now been waking up at like 5:30 in the morning and I'll spend an hour reading. I'll try and do 10 chapters per day of the Bible, and then however much time just like praying and jumping into messages. I've been really into elevation worship at the moment, like all about it, but yeah.
Okay, that's crazy because I was going to ask you to do a game called This or That, and the first one was elevation worship or Hillsong.
Elevation. Sorry, Hillsong.
I will pick elevation too. Okay. Next one. Friday night youth services or Saturday morning youth hangouts?
Probably Friday night.
Friday nights are always the best. Okay. This one, I don't know. I never heard this one before. Christian country or Christian rap?
Christian rap, 100%. I'm sorry, but I'm not jumping on that country.
Okay. No matter how many people try to sell me country, I'm sorry, I can't identify with it. I don't know. I don't wear boots. I can't, it's just not my swing. Christian rap, though. I like Christian rap. It's really good. Okay, I think I already know the answer to this one. Online services or in person?
In person. There's just something different about it.
In person, I'm telling you. If you don't think in-person services are the best, you need to pray. That's just all I have to say to that.
Yeah.
Praying, because in-person services aren't always the best. Okay.
That's it.
So would you prefer a big church or a little church?
That's a tough one. Because
there's pros and cons to it.
Yeah, there is. I'm gonna give a little explanation. So where I live in Australia, I'm like 2 hours out of the major city. So I have quite a small church.
Right.
But I have been to mega churches in other states.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of people, and that's a lot of people praying for you, which is pretty good. But
yes.
I definitely like the intimacy of a small church but that also means you can't hide in groups of people.
True, that's very true. My church happens to be a little church people too. Like everyone that's in my youth group, I grew up with my whole entire life. So it's like we're all like best friends and we all know each other, but at the same time, like if you do something wrong, they're gonna get on you about it. So it's like which is good in a sense. It's good. We need that, but just like back off. All right.
Yeah.
So you said beforehand that you were dealing with some like anxiety, depression, and whatnot, and things like that. Yeah. So what would you say to someone who's, feeling that kind of feelings right now? Like, what would you say to that person?
That's a good question. When I picture me at that time, I always was Christian, but I didn't jump in. Like, I was very much, I wouldn't say the definition of lukewarm, but like I wasn't hot. Like, I wasn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I would just say, straight up pray about it, which so many people in that position, like if I heard that, I would have been like, doing it. Mm-hmm. But I would definitely just say, literally pray about it. You got to be telling your leaders. Just tell them, they'll pray for you, and you just got to be surrounded by people, which is also really tough if you have anxiety, but I got through it, so yeah.
I feel like people's biggest reasoning on why they don't pray about it is because they feel like God won't be able to do it. Or I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like how people think oh, I've been dealing with this all of my life. Why it's not going to work now just because I prayed about it to God. Like he wasn't there for me all those other years, so why would I do it now? So what would you say to someone who has that kind of mindset? Like I already tried God and he didn't work, so why try him now?
Yeah, that's also a really good question. I would like there is something different between praying and believing it's going to happen. Because if you're praying expectantly, like crazy things happen. And honestly, at that time, I was like, I think one of the major turning points was at, I don't know if you know what Planet Shakers is.
Yes.
You do? Yeah, so they have a Planet Shakers conference in Melbourne. I went there and I only know that church because like my cousin is like one of the guitarists there. And so, yeah. But yeah, but and they had an altar call for depression and it's like, who's going to get up? And you know, people just like looking around and I'm like, I am surrounded by strangers, but I'm just going to jump up. And I went down and that was so crazy because you're surrounded by people, but you're like completely alone with God. And that, as well as people coming up and praying for me, I think that really helped me in that time when I was also feeling like nothing was happening. And being near other Christians where the Spirit's moving through them, it's just gonna come to you. You just gotta be near it.
Which also doesn't help with quarantine, but still, jump on the Zoom call.
Jump on the Zoom call, get prayer for.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got 3 steps made by Charlie in order to get out of depression, anxiety, you name it. 1, you have to identify that there's an issue.
Yes.
Like you have to stand up in the middle of the crowd and realize, hey, I have that. Let me go up there and do something.
Exactly.
2, pray about it. No prayer.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna work. 3, tell people. They're your best advocate. People will pray for you. People will give more prayers the better. Because you know that's 3-step plan. You guys are wondering, we just solved depression. We just solved everything right there. Solved the world issues.
It was that easy, no.
I mean, honestly, sometimes it feels like it's that easy, but then like when you get into issues, it's just like crazy hard.
It's so crazy because it really is, for me who's gone through it and was really going through it, if I heard that, I would have been like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. But like, now it's actually happening. It is so simple. But when you're in it, it does not feel simple. But so anyone who's going through that, just tell us. Message The Way Show and we'll pray for you.
Or Charlie. We're both good at this.
Charlie.
Yeah, look, see the promo. I was going to ask you for that, but you already did it. Look at you. You're a professional. Okay. So one of the questions I always ask people on here, you're the first guy I had on the show, so congrats on that. There's a stereotype that people like, you know, I don't want to call them regular people, but you know, like everyone else have on Christian teens these days. That's completely not true. And, you know, gets blown out of proportion.
I feel like someone else would have said this, but that Christians are super judgmental.
No, that's the first time I heard.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
I hear it all the time, and at like my school, I'm probably one of the only like 5 Christians in this school, and people kind of just assume that if you're Christian, you're judging them because they are following certain ways, but we're not that judgmental people. We want to know you, we want to talk to you, and we ain't gonna Bible bash you.
Yeah. I don't think people realize that we're not some kind of elite version of humans that don't deal with problems like everyone else.
We all make mistakes as well. Yeah.
Yes, we all have problems.
We all need
I guess the difference between us and them is that we just have someone that solves our problems for us rather than, you know, hinders it. I think that's all the questions I had on my real writing thingy.
Amazing.
My notes.
The notes?
Yes, on my notes, that's all I had. But
Perfect.
This is Charlie Evans, the newest. Oh, I'm gonna say it wrong. Christian entrepreneur, business entrepreneur. Okay, wait. Tell me how to say it, and then I'm gonna say it right.
Christian entrepreneur.
Christian entrepreneur. I said it right the first time. You know what I just said earlier. You already said. I guess just say it again for everybody. You're at and everything.
Okay, so Okay, so if you guys want to find me, you can find me at Charlie P. Evans you can either Google it and it will come up with all of my social media, or just jump on Instagram, and it's basically everything at Charlie P. Evans. Instagram, Twitter. Do people use Facebook? I have a Facebook. LinkedIn.
Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we'll have some older people who would like to follow you on Facebook. All the
I hope.
boomers. Yeah, I think that's all we have for you guys. This is Charlie.
Thank you for having me.
You're so very welcome. I'm so glad. It was worth being awoken up for. This is.
You're gonna go back to sleep now.
I probably should. I'll probably be up for a little bit longer than I need to be. Yeah, that's Charlie. I'm Lauren. And yeah, that's the Way Show, you guys. Thanks for guys watching. Make sure you do all the good stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Text me if you guys know any cool people. Don't text me, but text my Instagram. You guys know it. If you have anyone that wants to be on the show, we'll take people from anywhere. Exhibit A, all the way in Australia.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'll wake up at any time besides like 1 a.m. That's really early for me. I don't know if I can wake up at 1
What should
a.m.
we do 4?
I'll do 4. I'll do 4. 1 a.m. I'm not going to wake up that early. You got to text me another time. But besides that, yeah. I guess thanks for watching, everybody.